Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a special deep dive into a tennis match that challenges everything we think we know about this sport. If you have ever questioned whether tennis is the most mentally unforgiving game on the planet, if you have ever believed that the better player always wins, or if you have ever trusted raw numbers to fully explain human competition, pause for a moment. Put everything else aside, turn the volume up, and lean in. What unfolded today at the Abu Dhabi Open was not just a result on a scoreboard. It was a rupture in logic, a statistical contradiction that somehow became real. A match that laughed in the face of probability, numbers, and the comfortable idea that fairness always prevails in sport. This was a round of 16 battle between Belarusian veteran Aliaksandra Sasnovich and a 20-year-old Filipino sensation, Alex Eala. Before even touching the scoreline, let's talk numbers because they are where this story begins to feel impossible. One player won 121 points. The other one only 111. A 10-point gap over the course of a match is enormous. One player also won more games, hit more aces, posted a stronger first serve percentage, and even strung together 8 consecutive points at one stage, double what her opponent managed. In almost every imaginable scenario, you would confidently pick that player as the winner. And yet, she lost. Sasnovich was the cleaner striker. She controlled rallies, dictated tempo, and dominated vast stretches of play. By nearly every traditional and advanced metric used to measure superiority in tennis, she was the better performer on the day. But she is not the one moving on to the quarterfinals. Alex Eala is. And that is why this match will be studied, debated, and dissected for years, especially by those fascinated with the psychology of elite sport. The final score reads 2-6, 6-4, 7-6, with a tense deciding set tiebreak. It doesn't feel like a conventional victory. It feels like a narrow escape, a daring theft pulled off in plain sight, armed with nothing but resilience, nerve, and an iron will. This is not just a recap. This is an examination of a miracle, a breakdown of how a young player, who was being statistically outplayed, navigated tennis's unforgiving scoring system and emerged with the only thing that truly matters, the win. This match forces us to confront a strange paradox in tennis. You can lose the majority of points and still win the match. You can be dominated in rallies and still control the outcome. And nothing illustrates that better than one staggering number from this contest. 17 breakpoints created by Eala. 17. In a 3-set match. That number alone tells a story of relentless pressure, of refusal to disappear, of a player who kept knocking on the door no matter how many times it was slammed shut. Add to that another astonishing detail: 0 aces. Not one free point on serve. Every single point Eala won had to be constructed, defended, fought for. This was a performance built not on power, but on grit, on surviving a storm that raged for nearly 3 hours. While Sasnovich painted lines and stacked up impressive statistics, Eala lived in the trenches, winning the ugly points, the extended rallies, and most critically, the points that ended games and sets. The broader context makes this result even heavier. For Asian tennis, and especially for the Philippines, this was not just another tour match. Eala carried the hopes of a nation still searching for a true global tennis icon. On this court, she showed she has more than skill. She has the stomach for a fight. For Sasnovich, the pain cuts deep. There is a special kind of heartbreak in sitting in the locker room, staring at a stat sheet that says you won more points, more games, and played better tennis overall, yet you're the one packing your bags. To understand how we got here, we have to understand the opponent Eala faced. Sasnovich is no ordinary player. She has been inside the world's top 30, reached the second week of Grand Slams, and built a career on flat, penetrating ground strokes that rush opponents and steal time. She disrupts rhythm, thrives on pace, and coming into this match as a lucky loser, played with the freedom of someone given a second life in the draw. From the opening exchanges, it looked like a mismatch. The first set was clinical. Sasnovich took it 6-2, dictating from the baseline, stepping inside the court, and taking the ball early. She reeled off 4 games in a row, seeing the ball like it was enormous, while Eala looked overwhelmed. Her left-handed forehand, usually a weapon, was being rushed. Errors crept in. She was pushed well behind the baseline, constantly on the defensive. At that point, the odds would have heavily favored Sasnovich, and understandably so. Losing the first set 6-2 on hardcourt is a steep mountain to climb. But this is where Eala's intelligence and composure began to surface. Many young players panic after a one-sided set. They swing harder, chase aces they don't possess, and try to match power with power. Eala did none of that. She understood, instinctively or otherwise, that she could not outgun Sasnovich. With 0 aces on her side, she accepted there would be no free points. So she changed the fight. The second set became a war of attrition. Eala slowed things down, added margin, extended rallies, and focused on simply staying in every game. The score flipped to 6-4 in her favor, but the real story was pressure. Those 17 break points didn't appear by accident. Nearly every Sasnovich service game turned into a battle. Sasnovich saved 12 of them, an impressive feat, but the constant stress takes a toll. It's like holding a door shut while someone repeatedly hammers against it. Eventually, something gives. Eala converted only 5 of those 17 chances, a modest success rate, but it was enough. This was volume over efficiency. She kept coming. Sasnovich, by contrast, was more clinical. She had 11 break points and converted 6. She was sharper with her opportunities, but she simply didn't get as many in the latter stages because Eala steadied her service games. The serving numbers reveal 2 very different philosophies. Sasnovich landed 69% of her first serves, Eala 71%. But Eala's serves were safer, spun in, designed to start rallies rather than finish points. Sasnovich went for more, resulting in 5 aces but also 5 double faults. Eala committed only 3. In a match decided by the narrowest margins, those extra free points loom large. Then came the third set, the arena where reputations are forged. Physically, both players were spent. Mentally, the tension was suffocating. The set mirrored the match as a whole. Sasnovich with the edge in power and total points, Eala with the edge in resolve. At 6 games all, everything collapsed into a single tiebreak. After miles run and hundreds of shots hit, the contest boiled down to a race to 7 points. This is the cruel beauty of tennis. All previous advantages vanish. The scoreboard resets. In that moment, it was Eala who played with fearless clarity. The tiebreak ended 7-5. By the slimmest of margins, she took it. The total point deficit no longer mattered. The only thing that mattered was execution under pressure, and Eala delivered. Statistically, Sasnovich was still superior in many areas. She won more service points, more return points, and even strung together 8 consecutive points at one stage. Eala never managed more than 4 in a row. She was never on a roll. She was simply relentlessly present. Every time Sasnovich surged, Eala absorbed it and clawed her way back with grit and patience. This match is a perfect illustration of tennis's unique scoring system. A dominant game counts the same as a scrappy one. Winning points by a landslide doesn't give you extra credit. What matters is winning the right points. Eala won the points that closed games, the points that converted breaks, and the final point of the match. Sasnovich won many of the points that make stats look impressive, but not the ones that decide destiny. The implications are significant. Eala is no longer just a promising talent. She's a closer, a player who can be outplayed and still refuse to lose. For Sasnovich, this is a loss that lingers, a reminder of how unforgiving tennis can be. She played at a top 30 level and still walked away empty-handed. Looking ahead, this result reshapes the draw. Eala enters the quarterfinals battle-hardened, proven, dangerous. A player who can win ugly is a threat to anyone. The rest of the field will not see the point totals. They will see the win. So remember this match the next time you glance at a box score. Look beyond the aces and percentages. Look at the struggle, the nerve, the moments that mattered. Today, Sasnovich won the numbers, but Alex Eala won the match. And in tennis, that is the only statistic that truly counts.